Greetings, Japan fans. Today's show, we're going to be looking at shortcomings. Maishu, arigatou gozaimasu. And welcome back to the 11th year of the Leadership Japan series. And I'm your host in Tokyo, Dr. Greg Story, Dale Carnegie Tokyo franchise owner, president of Dale Carnegie Tokyo Training, and the three-time best-selling author of Japan Sales Mastery, which is Zaegyo in Japanese, Japan Business Mastery, and Japan Presentations Mastery, or in Japanese, Anata mo Prezen no Tachiden. Plus, Stop Wasting Money on Training, which in Japanese is Training de Okane o Muru ni suru no wa yamimashou. And all are available on Amazon. This podcast brings insights, examples, and experience about leading in Japan. Trust me, it is different here. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast with your family, friends, and colleagues. We're not being sponsored by Libsyn, but we value your privacy, which is why we have our podcast hosted by Libsyn. Unlike many other hosting organizations, Libsyn have a strict policy that does not allow access to your private information by anyone. Here is our daily podcast lineup on Apple Podcasts. Mondays, the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show podcast. Tuesday, the Presentation Japan series. Every second Tuesday, the Business Tachijin no Oshie Show. Wednesdays, the Sales Japan series. Thursdays, the Leadership Japan series. And every second Thursday, the Business Pro Podcaster Show. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show podcast. Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews. Before we get going, today's handy Japanese phrase is Kankan ni okotteru yo. Kankan ni okotteru yo. He or she is boiling mad. Kankan ni okotteru yo. Kankan ni okotteru yo. Kankan ni okotteru yo. Now this is episode number 543. Today we're talking about some common leadership shortcomings in Japan. As leaders, are we all perfect? Are we perfect all the time? Obviously, the answer is no to both counts. But that doesn't mean we always face up to our own shortcomings. An important part of growing and improving as a leader is to be honest about who we really are. Let's go through some common areas where leaders can improve. Number one, uninspiring. This uninspiring tag covers a vast majority of leaders. Ask yourself, how many of my previous bosses would I describe as inspiring? The answer for most people is usually none or one. Now ask yourself, if someone surveyed my team members, how many would say I was inspiring? This type of reality check is useful because it can help us become better in some key leadership areas. What contributes to a leader being seen as uninspiring? It usually relates to a lack of enthusiasm, someone going through the motions with no great passion. This is reflected in how they communicate. The voice is dull, the energy low, the fire in the belly has long since smoldered out. As a consequence, they lack direction for themselves and therefore cannot provide it for the team. They are not leading an intentional life for themselves. Leaders are not robots, and we go through our ups and downs in business. An important part of what we do is to provide electricity for our people. That spark inside us ignites a spark in them. If our spark has been eclipsed, then we need to reignite it. That means finding meaning in what we do. It means going back to the basics of what we do as a leader and rediscover the fundamentals of our role and why we are here. If we cannot manage that, we won't be around for very long, as the organization soon realizes we are not providing any particular value to the firm. Find some aspect of the work which provides enjoyment. Start there and try to build on that scope to include more tasks and gradually rebuild your enthusiasm for being the leader. Number two, over-focused on self. Be a hard task to find anyone who isn't overly focused on themselves in this modern business world of sudden layoffs, mergers, and bankruptcies. Leaders are not immune to these fears. Self-preservation gets more intense as you climb up the greasy pole and start costing the firm more dough. Recently, a friend of mine here at a prestigious financial firm was asked to leave because his subordinate, who he had developed, would take over as his bosses could save money this way. So much for his long loyalty to the company, and no wonder we become cynical. Find out more when we come back from the break. Today's show is brought to you by our public courses, but we also do custom in-house programs. We do them in Japanese and we do them in English, do them in our super safe classroom. We do them live online. Our show today is being brought to you by, on the 3rd of February, our Dale Carnegie course, 12-week version. On the 15th of February, we're doing leadership training for managers. That's 3 days for that one. And 19th and 20th of February, we're doing high-impact presentations. And then on March 1st, we'll have another Dale Carnegie course, a 12-week version. Our website is www.dale-carnegie.co.jp. So that's www.dale-carnegie.co.jp. You can email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. So that's greg.story, STORY, at dalecarnegie.com. Don't forget to grab my business books on Japan on Amazon. Japan Sales Mastery, which is Zaegyo in Japanese. Japan Business Mastery. Japan Presentations Mastery, which is Anata mo Presen no Tachijin in translation. And Stop Wasting Money on Training, which in Japanese is Training de Okane o Mudni Sunu wa Yamimashou. If you like learning by watching videos, and we have over 2,300 there for you at Tokyo Japan Dale Carnegie TV on YouTube. We release 3 TV shows every week on YouTube. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, that's the premier business show on Japan. That's every Monday, Tokyo time. Fridays, we have the Japan Business Mastery Show. And on Saturdays, we release Japan's top business interviews, where I interview leaders from SMEs all the way up to the corporate captains of industry on one topic, leading in Japan. Every second Thursday, we release the Business Pro Television Show. You can email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. Welcome back. Over-focus in this context means not being concerned about the people under you and just looking out for yourself. Actually, we can do both. Notwithstanding my friend's recent unfortunate collision with boss greed, we can protect ourselves and develop our team. They are not mutually exclusive objectives. Over-focus on us means not delegating tasks so that others can develop their career path. They need to impress an interview panel that they can step up and do the job because they have some valuable experience in relevant parts of it. Delegation is not dumping one's work onto others. It is growing the people under you. We have to stop saying things like, it'll be quicker if I do it myself. Instead, we have to devote some of our highly valuable time developing others to have them learn the tasks. Number 3, not accountable. Perhaps we are an avid resistor of feedback. We literally trash the 360-degree feedback because it is painful to read and about what others think about us when they have the chance to freely express their views in a way which cannot be traced back to them individually. Of course, we can all improve, and even if the comments are wrong from our point of view, we accept that there is that perception of us. We can work on improving that perception. If we ignore it, then retribution isn't far away. Before you know it, your boss and the HR department are all over you, demanding changes anyway. So why not be the arbiter of our own adjustments and start working on fixing the perceptions through improved communication and deleting behaviors which others find irritating or unacceptable? Another aspect of lack of accountability is to cut yourself some slack, but be uber demanding of your team. You take a 2-hour lunch or head off to the gym during the workday, but hammer your people about their lack of results. Remember, staff are all card-carrying boss watchers, and they see what is going on. Having double standards will never fly because there's no consistency in that approach. People under us like consistency and they dislike unpredictability. Also, don't apply your standards for today against someone younger and less experienced. Compare them to what you were like at their age and stage. The contrast can be revealing. When we do this, it helps to adjust how we approach them regarding the quality of their work. We don't have ridiculous expectations or standards which we could never have achieved in their place. None of these shortcomings are beyond repair. We need to face reality first and then work out a plan to improve on them. If we don't want to fix them, then someone above us will fix it by removing us. That is avoidable if we choose to be someone who votes for leading an intentional life. That angle makes such a difference in how we feel about what we are doing, such that improvements can come thick and fast. Thank you for joining the Leadership Japan series. If you found the program useful, then tell your family, friends, and colleagues. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast. You can contact me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. Our website is www.dale-carnegie.co.jp. Until the next episode, take what you thought valuable, put it into action, because idea application is what makes winners winners. So be one of them. Remember, I'm in your corner, your go-to guy for soft skills training in Tokyo, committed to your success here in Nippon.